Good morning, Doc Adri and Ma'am Banebane. I trust you are both doing well. Today, I will be presenting my coaching manual in women's basketball. So here are the key points I'll be covering in today's presentation. But before I proceed, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Kayselyn Galdones, a 24-year-old student at the University of Santo Tomas and a professional volleyball player. I am currently pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Fitness and Sports Management. Now, let me share with you my, my philosophy and principles of coaching. First, there's a coach. First, there's a well-known quote that goes, coaching is not just about teaching athletes how to improve their skills and technique. It is about instilling values that will help them succeed in all aspects of life. I admire this quote for its heartwarming message, highlighting that coaching goes beyond skill development to imparting essential values crucial for overall success. My coaching philosophy in basketball is about helping players grow both on and off the court. Winning is important, but it's not everything up. I focus on developing each player's skills and character, creating an environment where they can reach their full potential. I pay attention to each player's strengths and weaknesses, and I teach fundamental skills like shooting, passing, dribbling, and defense. Teamwork, communication, and trust are key. Basketball is a team sport, so I stress the importance of working together toward the common goal. I want to build unity and camaraderie among the players. Beyond basketball, I aim to teach values like discipline, resilience, and sportsmanship that will benefit them in life. My coaching theory revolves around putting players at the center of everything. It's not just about tactics, it's about understanding each player personally and helping them improve both as athletes and individuals. I create a positive environment where players feel empowered to learn, make mistakes, and grow. The key to my approach is adapting to each player's unique strengths, weaknesses, and learning styles. I also encourage a growth mindset where players see challenges as opportunities to get better. Teamwork and communication are essential too. I emphasize the importance of trust and unity for success. Overall, my coaching isn't just about winning games, it's about nurturing players to reach their full potential both on and off the court. So, introduction of sport coaching, roles, purpose, and objectives as a coach. Sport Sports coaching is more than just teaching how to play a game. As a coach, I wear many hats. I educate players about the game, act as a mentor guiding them through challenges, motivate them to excel, lead the team with positivity and respect, and serve as a role model for dedication and perseverance. My goal isn't just about winning. It's about helping athletes grow, develop, and feel empowered. I create an environment where they feel supported, challenged, and motivated to be their best. I teach skills beyond the game like teamwork and integrity that they can carry into life of the field. So next slide is introduction of sport. So what is basketball? Basketball is a thrilling sport loved by millions worldwide. Invented in 1891 by Dr. James Naismith, it's played by two teams of 5 players on a rectangular court. The aim is to score points by shooting the ball through the opponent's hoop while defending your own. It's fast-paced and involves dribbling, passing, and shooting to outscore the other team within a set time. Basketball isn't just a game, it's a cultural phenomenon with leagues like the NBA in the US and the EuroLeague in Europe. Known for its athleticism, skill, and teamwork, basketball continues to enthrall audiences globally. So in the next slide, is the annual prioritization table and programs of activities per season. During the preseason period, spanning 4 to 6 weeks, my primary emphasis will be on honing skills, improving conditioning, and refining strategic approaches. This will entail a series of activities including individual skill training, team building exercises, strength and conditioning sessions, and team tactical drills. And next is during the 20 to 24 week in season period, my primary emphasis will be on game preparation, skill refinement, and injury prevention. This phase will encompass regular season games, team practices, maintenance strength and conditioning sessions, as well as dedicated stretching and flexibility routines. And lastly, during the postseason period, spanning 2 to 4 weeks, my attention shifts toward vital aspects such as recovery, reflection, evaluation, and off-season planning. This phase encompasses pivotal activities including rest and proactive recovery, individual player assessments, team performance analysis, setting goals for the upcoming season, crafting individual off-season training regimens, and formulating comprehensive team development strategies. So for the annual periodization table and programs of activities per season, during the first 2 weeks, our focus is on honing individual skills such as shooting, dribbling, passing, and defense through personalized training sessions. Simultaneously, we lay the foundation for peak physical fitness with structured strength and conditioning workouts. To foster team chemistry, we engage in various team building activities aimed at enhancing communication and cohesion. Moving into weeks 3 and 4, we shift gears to integrate strategic elements into our gameplay. Through collective drills, we refine offensive and defensive strategies, preparing ourselves for the challenges ahead. Scrimmages provide a platform to seamlessly implement these tactics in realistic game scenarios, and throughout this phase, we continue to prioritize endurance development alongside our tactical training. As we approach the final weeks of preseason, we transition into competitive mode with exhibition matches. These games allows us to assess our progress, identify areas for improvement, and make any necessary adjustment to our strategies and lineups based on real game performance. So the workout sequence, drills, and biometrics exercises. Once the regular season commences, our routine consists of consistent practices aimed at refining skills, implementing strategies, and preparing for upcoming matches. Concurrently, we maintain our physical fitness through structured strength and conditioning sessions to minimize the risk of injuries and sustain optimal performance level. Throughout the in-season period, our primary focus remains on continual improvement and peak performance during regular season games. Each match serves as an opportunity to put our training into action and strive for excellence on the court. As the season draws to a close, we transition into a period of recovery and reflection. Players engage in strategic rest and active recovery to recharge both mentally and physically after the demands of the season. Individual players' evaluations provide valuable insights into strength and areas for growth, while a collective review of team performance allows us to assess our overall progress and identify areas for development. Looking ahead to the off-season, we shift our focus to strategic planning for the future. This involves setting goals for the upcoming season, crafting personalized training programs for players, and developing team-wide strategies to address weaknesses and capitalize on strengths. Through meticulous planning and dedication, we aim to continuously elevate our performance year after year. The next slide is workout sequence, drills, and plyometrics exercise. First off, we start with the warm-up phase. This is crucial to get our bodies ready for action. We spend about 10 to 15 minutes on dynamic stretching and agility drills. These exercises not only loosen up our muscles, but also get our heart rates up, priming us for what's to come. Next up is skill development. Here we dedicate a solid 20 to 30 minutes to sharpening our fundamental skills like shooting, ball handling, and passing. We run through various drills designed to improve technique and build confidence on the court. Then comes the strength and conditioning phase. This is where we really put in the work to build strength and endurance. We spend around 30 to 40 minutes on exercises like squats, lunges, and plyometrics such as back jumps. These exercises are key to improving overall athleticism and staying injury-free throughout the season. Lastly, we wrap up with the cool down phase. This is all about recovery and injury prevention. We take 10 to 15 minutes to do static stretching and foam rolling, helping our muscles recover and reducing the risk of injury after a tough workout. So these are the pictures of the exercise demonstration. In season, warm up, skill development, strength and conditioning, cool down. In the postseason, warm up that contains dynamic stretching, agility drills. In recovery, light, light cardiovascular exercise, foam rolling, and reflection and planning, which consists individual player evaluations, team performance review, and then cool down, state stretching, foam rolling. So I won't be explaining this all na po. So, fifth principle of this training program. The fifth principle serve as a cornerstone for crafting effective fitness training programs, offering a structured approach and encompassing frequency, intensity, time, and type. Let's delve into how this principle aligns with the basketball training regimen. So in frequency, during the preseason, prioritizing skill development and strength and conditioning sessions 3 to 4 times per week lays a solid foundation. As the intensity of the in-season games increases, maintaining a frequency of 2 to 3 sessions per week for both aspects ensures players stay sharp and physically prepared. Transitioning into the postseason, a balance of recovery sessions 2 to 3 times weekly and the weekly reflective planning session aids in recuperation and future strategy. And intensity, adapting intensity levels across the seasons is crucial. Pre-season demands high-intensity skill development sessions and moderate to high-intensity strength and conditioning workouts to build endurance and power. In season, a shift to moderate intensity in both aspects ensures players sustain performance without risking burnout. Post-season calls for a decrease in intensity to facilitate recovery and mental rejuvenation. Third is time. Efficient time management is key. Allocating 10 to 15 minutes for warm-ups primes muscles and enhance flexibility. Skill development sessions spanning 20 to 30 minutes allow focus improvement, while dedicating 30 to 40 minutes to strength and conditioning optimizes physical attributes. A 10 to 15-minute cool down integrates necessary stretching and foam rolling to aid in muscle recovery and injury preventions. Next is the type. Tailoring exercises to suit specific needs is paramount. Warm-ups featuring dynamic stretching and agility drills prepare players for the demands of the court. Skill development drills targeting shooting, ball handling, and passing, refine technique and decision making. Strength and conditioning exercises, including strength training, plyometrics, and conditioning drills, enhance physical capabilities. Finally, the cool-down phase incorporates static stretching and foam rolling to promote flexibility and alleviate muscle tension. By meticulously applying the FIT principle to each facet of a basketball training program, coaches and players can optimize performance, mitigate injury risks, and achieve their full potential on the court. Sports nutrition serves as a cornerstone in optimizing any training regimen, exerting a profound influence on athletic performance, muscle recovery, and injury prevention. Within the context of our basketball training program, meticulous attention to nutritional details is paramount. Here is a comprehensive breakdown of the key nutritional considerations. So the pre-workout meal, 1 to 2 hours before training, carbohydrates, offer nutrient-rich sources like whole grain toast or bagels, oatmeal, and bananas to fuel your body for the demands of training. Protein, incorporate high-quality proteins such as Greek yogurt or lean turkey and chicken slices to support muscles, function, and repair. Third is hydration. Ensure adequate hydration with water of a sports drink to maintain optimal performance level. And during workout hydration, continuously replenish fluids with water or sports drink at regular intervals every 15 to 20 minutes to sustain hydration levels throughout the session. The post-workout meal, within 30 minutes after training, carbohydrates, replenish glycogen stores with complex carbohydrates like brown rice, quinoa, and sweet potatoes, facilitating recovery and energy restoration. So, in protein, it aid muscle and repair and growth with lean protein sources such as grilled chicken or fish alongside the protein shake or smoothie. And vegetable enhanced nutrient intake with nutrient dense vegetables like broccoli, spinach, and mixed salads. Hydration. Continue hydrating with water or sports drink to replace lost fluids and electrolytes post-exercise. Next is nuts, fruit, opt for fresh fruits like apple, oranges, and berries for natural energy and essential vitamins. Next nuts is nuts and seeds. Fuel up with healthy fats from almonds, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds, providing sustained energy and sat satiety. Satisfy. Next is yung dairy. Incorporate dairy options like string cheese and Greek yogurt to calcium and protein. Next is hydration. Maintain hydration levels with a minimum intake of 8 to 10 glasses of water daily. And utilize sports drinks during training for electrolyte replacement. So in general nutrition guidelines, strive for balanced meals that encompass carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, promoting optimal performance and recovery. Portion control. Opt for smaller, frequent meals to sustain energy levels and prevent overeating. Healthy fats. Integrate sources of healthy fats such as avocados, nuts, and seeds to support overall health and performance. Limit the processed foods. Minimize intake of processed foods and fast food, prioritizing whole, nutrient-dense option. And next is timing. Establish a consistent eating schedule, consuming meals and snacks at regular intervals throughout the day to maintain energy and performance levels. So in this slide, we will discuss the injury prevention. So the two most important of strategy to prevent injuries are warm up and the cool down. Warm up before engaging in physical activity. It's crucial to prepare the body adequately. Dynamic stretching and agility drills are employed to increase flexibility, mobility, balance, and coordination. In cool down, after exercise, the body needs to return to a state of rest gradually. This is facilitated by static stretching, which helps maintain flexibility and prevent muscle tightness, along with foam rolling to release tension and aid in recovery. So proper technique and form, skill development, proper technique in fundamental skills like shooting, dribbling, and passing is emphasized to prevent overuse injuries and optimize performance. In strength training, ensuring correct form and technique during weightlifting exercises is vital to prevent muscle imbalances and reduce injury risk. In in immediate treatment, for acute injuries, The RISE method, rest, ice, compression, elevation, is applied. Severe injuries Severe injuries or persistent symptoms warrant medical attention. Rehabilitation, structured rehabilitation programs overseen by professionals like physical therapists or athletic trainers aid in the recovery process. Gradual reintroduction of activity and sport-specific training occurs once cleared by healthcare professionals. This comprehensive strategy aims to not only prevent injuries but also optimize athletic performance through proper preparation, conditioning, and injury management. So, as a basketball coach, one of the biggest game changers is how we communicate. We've got to be crystal clear about our goals and what we expect from each player. When we're all on the same page, magic happens on the court. Now, when it comes to practice, it's not one size fits all. We need to tailor our training to fit each player's strengths and areas they need to work on. Whether it's shooting hopes or tightening up those defensive moves, we've got to focus on the fundamentals. But it's not just about skills, it's about being a team. That means bonding outside of practice and making sure everyone knows their role. When we're united, we're unstoppable. And of course, in the heat of the game, we've got to be ready to switch things up. We need to adapt our strategies based on how the game is flowing and what the other team is bringing to the court. And let's not forget about safety. We've got to prioritize our players' well-being from proper warm-ups to keeping an eye on any injuries. After all, a healthy team is a winning team. Last but not least, we've got to keep growing. There's always something new to learn, whether it's the latest coaching techniques or strategies. We owe it to our team to always be at the top of our game. So let's communicate, train, smart, bond as a team, stay adaptable, prioritize safety, and never stop learning. That's the winning formula right there. So last is reflection. Making this basketball coaching manual has taught me a lot. Uh, it's not just about teaching the game, it's about creating a good team atmosphere, helping players grow in all aspects of their lives and making sure they stay healthy. While writing this manual, I realized how important it is to communicate clearly, tailor training to each player, and keep learning new things. Coaching basketball isn't just about the plays, it's about building strong bonds with players, teaching them discipline, and helping them become the best they can be. I think this manual covers everything a basketball coach needs to know. From workouts and eating right to preventing injuries and giving good advice. If coaches follow what's in this manual, they can make a positive environment where players can do well both and on and off the court. So next slide is the last part of the coaching manual, the documentation. That's all. Thank you for listening. Good night.